This coolant leak from my Subaru looks like Sherlock Holmes. Hopefully, he came to give and not to take. Australian Red Cross Blood Service. Vampire. Double cap. Airplane flew in front of telescope while observing the moon. The cyclist who dropped their phone in the middle of a ride. This car was directly in a fallen tree's path, but still ended up fine. These strangers in traffic, who didn't realize they were playing the same game. Peekaboo. I see you. None of their feet are touching the floor. My Uber driver was a slimmer, cooler, mustached version of myself. This bird landed on the page about itself. The mountains and trees lined up perfectly on this camper on the highway. In winter, this thing looks pretty spooky. When you live inside a picture and a picture lives inside you. This tree shaped exactly like the car. My cat Frodo went missing 2.5 years ago. Months later I took in a stray dog. The dog became my best friend, an extension of myself or almost. The dog had to be put down Friday. To ease my pain I went to the pound to walk dogs. Found Frodo there emaciated, basically waiting on euthanasia. Timing. Violet Jessup, a ship nurse. She served on each of the 3 sisters Titanic, Britannic, and Olympic. While she was on board, the Olympic collided with a warship and nearly sank. The Titanic hit an iceberg and sank. The Britannic hit an underwater mine and sank. Violet survived all 3. It seems Godzilla's always mad at the sky, even if it's in the sky. Never knew a music note could come in the form of a greasy fry. These burned out lights perfectly align. Everything's $1. The statue of a swerving driver that was just narrowly missed by this crashed car. I bought some Winnegums and thought about an ex from over 10 years ago. It was his favorite candy. We hadn't kept in touch. This was before social media. Later that day I was eating the Winnegums and thought about him again, so I decided to Google him. His funeral was that day. My dog, Flirt, left, found her doppelganger. My cousin was in his future wife's family picture, the guy on the left, on a trip to Rio de Janeiro, 0.7 years before they met. My friend just got this once in a lifetime picture. A dragonfly landed on my friend's foot and mirrored its own tattoo. Right place, right time. Cookie Monster. This dog has its own selfie on its ear. My friend found himself on a bag of chips. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was working in Hiroshima when the city was bombed. Surviving, he returned to his employer in Nagasaki 3 days later. That morning, while being berated by his supervisor as crazy, after describing how a single bomb had destroyed Hiroshima, the second atomic bomb hit Nagasaki. Yamaguchi survived again, and is the only known survivor of both bombings. It's like Phil Collins' brother once said, the odds of something happening will usually happen against all odds. The name of the foreign languages teacher. Mr. English. The price on this receipt, juxtaposed with the message at the bottom. Have a wonderful day, fully rely on God. $6.66. This broken rock looks like an avocado. Just a fan. That looks like Cristiano or his long lost brother. No feeding. If it ain't broke, break it. So close and yet so far. This cucumber is sponsored by Air Jordan. My friends were looking for me on Twitter and searched my full name, Morgan Knight. They all ended up following a different Morgan Knight who looks exactly like me. A truck got stuck under a bridge and apparently these guys know what to do. The guys playing for both teams and watching it from the grandstand. This cupcake burst out to look like a perfect elephant. This cracked screen protector looks like a sketch of the mountains. A rabbit with other rabbit on his nose. A mango fell and got impaled by a sign. This glass that broke in exactly the right way. Years ago my uncle bought me pajamas as a Christmas gift. He left the gift receipt in the box, and when I saw the date and time the receipt was printed I screamed. What are the odds? The 12th of December 2012 at 12:12. The face of this woman after she found her cat alive 16 days after a devastating tornado. Married couple in China discover they appeared in same photograph as teenagers. We've found him. On the set of the ad. A spider web that looks like a tiny Eiffel Tower. The spider living here was probably a Frenchman in his past life. My girlfriend found this rock that resembles me. Gross. But no one argue. This 400-year-old bonsai tree survived the bombing of Hiroshima in Japan. A glitch in the Matrix? The moon decided to join the Olympic rings. That coincidental photo where the lightning photobombed the fireworks. My husband and I both have dads named Gary. Both Garis had dogs named Woody when we started dating, and both of our moms were maternity nurses at the time. Woody. Also Woody. This pinball that stopped right in the middle of the flippers. Three cars of the same color are parked in front of matching building. My eyebrows perfectly complete the hat's picture. In just a year I won the same lottery for the second time. I walked the same exact number of steps this week as I did last week. An ad accidentally covered a paused YouTube image at the perfect time. My snowman melted, but his face still looks the same. The chandeliers in the beauty salon are on the same level as the model's eyes. I got one candy without a bag, 2 candies jammed in one bag, and 1 regular candy.